Hi guys, it's Andrew Edwards, a digital conversationalist. I've just had an incredible week in India. I love India. It's really, truly my favourite country on the planet. But I wanted to show you a different side of India, which I found out about recently on the news. And that is introducing you to New Delhi's mountain of garbage, which you can see up there behind me. I got to tell you, the smell's horrendous. But just to give you some context about what we can see behind me, it's the same size as 40 football fields. It's 65 metres high, and by 2020 they think it's going to be 73 metres high. At which point they'll need to put red lights on top because it'll be a safety hazard for jets flying over it. It opened in 1984. It was supposed to close in 2002. But there was nowhere else to put the rubbish. It's a landfill, so they've kept it open because they had to. And 2,000 tonnes of rubbish are delivered here every single day. It regularly breaks out in fires because, of course, rubbish tips like this produce, one of the problems is that methane is produced, so it's regularly breaking out in these fires, which is sending toxic gases into the atmosphere. And another toxic black substance called leachate leaks out from it as well, which is going through into the waterways and into the groundwater. So who knows what the repercussions of this and many others like it are all around the world, not just here in New Delhi. But you can see, hopefully, the colour of the water. It's certainly not blue. It's and it's filthy, and like I said, it really, really smells. But you know, the reason I wanted to come here and show you this is because poisons released into the water, into the air, they affect all of us. This is not an India problem, this is a global problem. It's something that we really need to start taking seriously, and we need all the greatest minds on the world working out how do we take rubbish tips like this and break it all down and get rid of it in a way that's equally sustainable. Because if we burn it, which there's a poisons plant or there's a recycling plant nearby, and it's also creating a lot of toxic poisons which are harming all of the people that are living around this space. You can see the houses over there, and if I turn around, I think this is the recycling plant, which isn't doing any good for the environment either, but there's people over there. It's dangerous to live within a 5-kilometre zone of this space. 5-kilometre zone. Actually, I think it's worse than that. So why is this relevant to the West? Well, it was only a couple of years ago that China started to say no to the trash from the West. So we've never really faced up to our problem. Sorry, something moving down here. Who knows? We haven't faced up to our problem. And what we're doing is we're shipping responsibility for it to other parts of the world. But of course, we're all interconnected. The world is interconnected. So we can't ship this stuff away. But to give you some context, Delhi has 18.16 million people. It's one of the world's mega cities. It's one of the largest cities in the world. Australia has 23 million people, and Australia is one of those countries that has been shipping its waste overseas. So Australia, this is what it could potentially look like. Now, another important point is the average Indian gets rid of 11 kilos of waste per year. The average American gets rid of 109 kilograms of waste per year. So America, you as a country who have been shipping around the world, this is also what you could be facing from a waste perspective because you haven't had to face up to it in the past. So I suppose the question is, do we want to have this in all of our backyards? We are creating a tip. And I think it's a case, we've gotten to the point where it's no longer one of my love affairs of India is the music of the horns. But we've always been brought up with this reduce, reuse, recycle mantra. I think we're at the point now where it's quite simply, it's time to refuse. Wherever you can, just don't take it. Don't accept it. Any plastic, anything that's going to last in the environment for 1,000 years, because it's going to break down and it's going to create poisons and toxins that are going to leach into the earth, and it's going to destroy the planet for all living things, not just the local community that's going to impact. So, look, quite frankly, I don't care if people believe in climate change or not. We are destroying our earth, and if we just want to face it from that perspective, there is too much rubbish, there is too much waste, the consumption lifestyle is appalling, and we of course are dealing with the greed of business who are taking more and more and more, and it's just time to stop. It's mind-boggling, and I look at the greed of the oil companies and the manufacturing, the defence industry, the aerospace industry. I mean, the travel industry is looking at doubling in the next 20 years. Doubling? We can't possibly do that. So look, we're turning a world into the tip. It's up to all of us to say we don't want this. We need a beautiful, clean environment for ourselves, and for future generations. Are you on board? Do you want this in your backyard? I certainly don't. I certainly wouldn't want to live with this smell every day. But this is what our waste is creating. And this is 18.16 million people who have a very low waste output. We all come from countries where it's much, much higher. Let's stop it. It's madness. It's madness what we're doing to the world. We can't keep doing it. All right, signing off. I'm going to get back into an air-conditioned car where I can escape these fumes. There's people walking past me who have got respiratory issues. They're developing all sorts of cancers. People are dying. That's what our waste is doing. It's doing in developing nations, and soon we're going to have to face it in our own. Got to ask the question, do we want it? I don't. See you guys.